And in today's video, I'm going to show you how to build minor triads all across the fingerboard. This is really cool. I've been doing some triads. Last couple weeks I did the regular major triads. All we're doing is changing one note, make it minor, and I have some graphs. I have a PDF of all these graphs that I'm going to use today. If you want a free copy of that, just email me at info@jerrycherry and I'll send them right over to you. So let me give you a little example of what we'll do today. I have a little loop that I created. It's just an E chord, E power chord actually, and I'm going to do all the triads real quick over the next. This is what it sounds like. Check it out. Hopefully you can hear that. And I'll put a little delay on it too, just to have some fun with it. Here we go. If you're enjoying this so far, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Let's get right to it. The 1, 2, 3, we call it from the E, just like this. The E string set, which is the E string, the B string, and the G string, right here. And I left these open because with these graphs, you could do this in any key, so I'm not indicating what key. Right now we're in E minor, but you can do it in any key with these graphs because I just indicated the intervals, which I like talking about the intervals instead of just the note names because I think it's a little bit more important here. You have the E. Now building a triad, say we did the open E string right here, right? It's a minor triad. So you have the E notes as the root. Then you have the third, which would be a G. Then you have the fifth, which would be a B. But we can't play all those on one string. So what we're going to do is we're going to play them on 3 different strings. So we could play it, if we did it on the B string, the E would be here, the G would be here. And that would just be 2 notes. The root and the third. But if we do it on the G string here, utilizing all 3 strings here, you get the E, you get the third, which is the G, and you have the fifth, which is the B. So it's good to know the names of the notes here in this case for, remembering, because it's only 3 notes. You have E, G, and B. So that's the first root triad of the string set. Sounds like that. Very common sound. Over the E. Just move it up. So here's the third, right? And here's the fifth from the previous one. So we've moved it up to here. Same notes. Now you have the third on the bottom. Just like that graph indicates. Third on the bottom, the fifth, and then the root. So that's a first inversion because the third's on the bottom now. So you have the root version, you have the first inversion here, which is also the open strings. Same thing, because this 12th fret indicates half the fretboard right there. Open strings right there. So, okay, so that's that inversion right there. First inversion. Second inversion, if you were to play these 2 notes, the G and the B up here, or actually, if you played the B and the E right here, and then the G here, you have a second inversion. You have the fifth on the bottom, the root, then the third. So there's your 3 inversions right there. You have the root, first inversion, second inversion, and open. So it's really cool. So if you have if someone's playing an E like this, and you were over here in this section, and one guy was doing something like this, do up here. Or up here. Let's go to the second string set now, and that would be over here. We just take it down to the 2, 3, 4 strings. Right there, right? And what we could do is, we'll find the root first. So we're always looking for the E. No, and the E would be right here. You have the root right up here. And the third is open, and the fifth is open as well. That's part of the E shape, E minor shape right there. Right there, so that's pretty cool. Very common shape. Here's a full E minor chord. Just like that. Okay, if we take it up one to the first inversion, you got this. You start on the third, then you got the fifth, then you got the root right there. You got the third on the bottom right here, the fifth, and the root. Because now you're just taking the part of this chord, taking the third and the fifth, and playing it up the neck here. Third, fifth, and back to the root up on top. That's the first inversion right there. And we'll play the second inversion, which is up here. And we know this chord because it's just a regular E minor chord up here, but it's a A shape, A minor shape, all the way up to here. Just like this top part was on this first inversion, on the first string set up on 1, 2, 3. But now we're just going down to here. So it's still the same part of the chord, but we're on a different string set here, starting on the fifth. All right, so we did both of those string sets. Really cool stuff so far. I mean, we've already played the E minor chord in multiple places. Already 6 different places. Instead of just playing it right here, we played it here. And we doubled up. We played it up here again, here, and there. We played it here, 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 right there, right there. Tried to play it up here. It's hard. So all these different areas on the neck, just playing the same chord. It's really helpful, so you'll know E minor. Well, where am I going to play? I can play it everywhere, depending on what it is that you're looking for. Okay, so we have the next string shape right here, and it's the 3, 4, 5 string shape. So I always like to, let's find the root first. Well, the root on the 5th string is right here. Right there, right? So you have the E, the G, and the B right there. And of course, you know, we could always map it out by hitting the E. Here's the minor third, the G, but we're going to play it on the next string, same note. And then the 5th, be a B up there. Okay, that's the E triad on that. But I'm going to show you something really cool. When you get to the next one, playing the 3 and the 5. Here's the 3rd, the 5th, and the root. If you're playing and you ever get lost, just kind of look for the next note up. We'll see you're on the E. Well, the next one will be a G, so I know that there's a G note, and I know that's the 5th and the root right there. G, B, E. So that's the first inversion. Here's the second inversion. So I'm going to take the 5th, root, 3rd. You know, if the band's playing over here, if the band's playing like this, really depends on what flavor you want to play. If you want more of a beefy play down here, like a might want to play something a little bit more, you know, you want maybe ring out some of the chords and play it up here. might want to do something up here. Any questions about any of this stuff, let me know. These inversions are great for stuff like that. If someone says, hey, you know, I do want something up higher, play something up higher on the neck. Well, now you'll know. It's like, well, how do I get up higher? I'm just going to play these different inversions up there. And maybe I'll start with, instead of the first, I'll start with the third. Like in the case of what we're just doing here, you know, with on this string set right here. If someone's playing the roots already, someone's playing this root note, you don't have to start on the root. Like for instance, check this out. I'll make this loop right here. If someone's playing something like this. 2, 3, 4. I guess we're using the drum machine. And I played something like a little bit higher, went up here. Or up here. On the fifth. I'm harmonizing with myself. Check it out, here's the third. It's really just up to you and where you want to go with it, what you want to do. So let's go down to the fourth and final group here that we have. So here is the next string sets. It's basically kind of like the 3, 4, 5, but it's the 4, 5, 6. Go in the 4, 4th, 5th, and 6th strings. Here's the root, E minor triad, right here, like that. Triad, but up here. To the first inversion, it's right up here. It's easy to remember these first inversions because here's like the other one that we did that was major. We're just making it minor. And here you can see this bar chord shape, but we're starting on the G, but we're continuing to play the bar chord. These notes, the fifth on the root, but we're putting the third on the bottom. Or down here. If you want a PDF of these graphs, all of them, just email me, info@jerrycherry, and I'll shoot them right over to you. And here's the last one, starting on the fifth. It's really cool to know these inversions. Check it out, here's an E to a D to a G. By going down, you know, here's an E minor, D major, to a G. Instead of playing it like this, E minor, D, G. Play it like this. It's a little bit more magical, right? A little more sophisticated sounding. Instead of all roots. Play it down here. Feels like you're leading somewhere. Instead of just, you know. A little bit more musical. So we went through all of the inversions on all 4 string sets. String sets meaning 1, 2, 3, and then the 2, 3, 4, and then the 3, 4, 5, and then 4, 5, 6. And then the 3 different shapes because you have 3 notes in a triad, so you start on the root, or you start on the third, or you start on the fifth. Any questions about this stuff, let me know. And if you want a PDF of all these graphics that I made, I have a PDF with all of them indicated what inversion they are, the root, first version, all that stuff. Just email me, info@jerrycherry, and I'll shoot that right over to you. If you have any ideas for any future lessons, let me know. And remember, be cool, be kind from the hearts, and be cherry. And I will see you in the next video. And if you want to see another video that I made creating regular triads, the major ones, I'll put it right up there. I love you. You guys are the best. thank you from the bottom of my heart, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day, everybody. Peace.